Okay, there is there's several popular ways to take off paint off of die cast. I'm using lacquer thinner. Let me show you the can. I happen to be at the hardware store and they sell Sunnyside. I know Walmart sells another brand. All of them work. Some better than others. The reason I like lacquer thinner is because I have this basket here, and then it doesn't evaporate too bad in the summer. And then I just put my stuff in a basket like this, and I just let it soak. So last week when we were together, I put the barrel in here, and they've just been sitting in there ever since, just because, well, there's no reason to take it out. So you could use carburetor cleaner. You can use aircraft remover. Some guys are using citrus strip. Oh, say that real fast. Citrus strip. And they're using that successfully. That's good. So, find the product that works for you and use it. There's no right or wrong way. The objective is to get the paint off. So do that. Some guys are even sandblasting their stuff. And, if you've got a sandblaster, well, get after it. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's the story. Like I said, I'm using lacquer thinner. Let me see. Are you able to see that? Good. And so what I normally do is I wear rubber gloves just so I don't get that crap on my hands. I don't want that getting in through my skin. So I just kind of take a wire brush and just get the worst of it off into the trash. And you can see how it's bubbled up here. Okay. I have noticed this paint doesn't come off the very best, but then again, these models here were not made, the manufacturer did not have in their mind that somebody like me would take them apart and repaint them. They made them to be played with. So they made it so the paint wouldn't just come off the first go a kid plays with it, runs it around on the carpet or in the sandbox or wherever they use it. Okay, so that's kind of just gets the rough paint off. And then what I do is I will use my wire wheel here. Can you see? Whoops, there it is. So I have my drill press set on its slowest speed, and then I just whip off that paint. And there we go. That's that. And get rid of these rubber gloves quick. I already went ahead and stripped these parts. This paint came up really easy on this tag axle here that goes up and down. That was really simple. Okay, after I've gone ahead and done all that business, I will go ahead. I've got isopropyl alcohol, just 90% rubbing alcohol in a food jar. It's just an old salsa jar is what it was. And I like to dip these parts in. Of course, if you see some paint like right here, you can go ahead and remove that if it makes you happy or not. I guess right here in this axle, this has got a groove in here. You can take that off, but this stuff came off really well. Okay, let me get you a little better angle so I'm not out of the shot so often. Here's a little bit of paint on this flat spot here. We'll just cut that off. But I did that just before I went live here. And, you know, any place that you see some paint that didn't come off with the wire wheel or your paint stripper, you can just kind of scrape that out. And there we go. So now I'm just hitting this with the rubbing alcohol that gets all the impurities and, oh, shiza, I just broke that. Huh. Wow. Well, that was neat. Well, I'll be darned. Huh. I gotta go find my glue. Well, I'll be darned. Wires, I didn't do that the first time. Well, looks like we gotta glue that on. Okay, no worries. We'll just leave that for next week because we'll just get the one done here. All right, so note to self, don't get too carried away wiping your rubbing alcohol off or cleaning it generally. Huh. There you go. That was worth the price of admission right there. Okay, set that over there. And then we'll get one of our barrels in here. We'll let that chill. Okay. Again, just wiping all the fingerprints and leftover chemical off of these, getting it nice and happy to prime. Okay. Looks like I had a little bit of stuff left in there. Rubbing alcohol or paint thinner, lacquer thinner. Okay. These are basically ready to go. There. You can, if you want, get a screwdriver and put your rag in there and waller out and kind of get some of that paint out, but you're going to get some overspray in there with the white, and it is all going to be mostly covered up with, there's a chute on the mixer, so really you don't have to just get too carried away with that. Something I like to do is, I've got a space heater in here, and when it's cooler out like it is now, I just like to take a space heater and warm up the die cast. That just makes your paint stick a little bit better. And then how did I do this? How did I paint these? I took a piece of small wire, put a little hook in, or a little loop in the bottom end of it, and then now you can hang it and paint it real easy like that. And then you got, the other side you can hook onto something. So we'll just do both of these since they're pretty much ready to go. So I'm going through the bottom end and through the top, through the hole, put a little loop in there, and voila. Dude's ready for priming. Just like that. Okay. And there we go. So I'm going to just stick these in front of the heater real quick and let them get nice and warm. So I'm going to take these over here quick. And then these two parts here, I'm just going to wait till next time since I have to glue on a broken fender. So we'll just let that chill over there. Okay. So that took how long? 10 minutes. So if you're watching a football game, you can, during commercial break or during halftime, you can run over, strip the paint off, wipe it. In 10 minutes, you can be ready to prime. And then you don't have to prime today. You could prime tomorrow or whenever you have a little extra time. So there's basically lesson 1 of our time together this evening. Next, we're going to go ahead and take off the Chevron logo. We don't need that on there. I can't find my lacquer thinner. Where'd I go with that? I have a jar of lacquer thinner around here and I've misplaced it. How in the world did that happen? Now, here we go. Okay, so I keep a jar of lacquer thinner. Again, I put the tips of my airbrush in there and just let it chill. So I'm just dipping a Q-tip here in my lacquer thinner, just dipping it. What also works here, if you don't have lacquer thinner, you can use acetone. Go to Walmart or any discount store, get you a 99-cent bottle of acetone, and that will work equally as well to do what we're about to do. Now, this works on about any die-cast truck to remove logos. The only thing you want to be aware of is if you've got a two-tone. Let's say you've got a white stripe over a black truck. That white stripe is pad printed on top of the black. So if you've got a black truck, a white stripe, and a chevron on the white stripe, you're going to take off the white stripe and the chevron logo. So this process we're working here, I'm showing you, this is only good for one-tone, single-color trucks. If you're going to do this on 2-color trucks or 3-color, multiple-color trucks, you're going to take up whatever stripes are on top of the base coat. Okay, so just be clear on that. As long as your decal is on the base coat, which is white in this instance, you're good to go. But here's an example. So this stripe here is on top of the white. And if you were to go ahead and try and rub a logo off of this red stripe, you're going to take up the red stripe and the logo, okay? Now, if you're looking at this, you're okay. This is a no-no. You're going to repaint this whole thing. Okay. So I've got a little lacquer thinner here. Acetone works as well. We're just going to wipe that up. Don't be stingy with your Q-tips. When one gets dirty, dip it, dip the other end, start over. Okay? There's no reason to fight this. Okay? So once it gets kind of dirty, start again with a clean tip. Another thing to keep in mind, see this door latch right here? That is pad printed on. You're going to take that door latch up if you get into it with your lacquer thinner, okay? So stay out of it. Also, this Durastar logo, if you get lacquer thinner on that, it's going to turn to mush and you're going to have to take up the whole Durastar logo. You can rub on the plastic like I'm doing a little bit and you're not going to hurt anything. Boy, that does not want to come. I think what we have here is, you can see some blue paint right here. I think there's some glue on that, and that's why it's not coming up. I've had this happen before. Get you an extra sharp Sharpie blade, and you can kind of scrape that off a little bit. Okay? But I think before we do that, we're just going to try one more time with another Q-tip and see what we can do. I don't like that one. So we're going to try one more time to get that blue off of there. And it's not coming. So we're not going to keep on going on that, because you can take up the base coat, which we're starting to do a little bit. That, and I scratched it, which wasn't smart. Luckily, our decal will cover that up. I didn't do that on the first truck I did, but I did it on this one. Oh, that one came up much better. Okay. We're going to get another one here. I keep a whole bunch of Q-tips in a little drawer here just for this purpose, because If you are nervous at all about doing this, don't start in an obvious place. Try and start in a, if you can find a less obvious place, like the back where it might be covered up, start in the back or someplace else. But you can see here, that Chevron decal came all the way up on this side. Not on that side, right there. Got just a little bit. I'll scrape that with a really sharp X-Acto knife and see if we can get that off. We'll do this one just to see if it's going to behave the same way the previous one did. There. And it worked perfectly. Awesome. We like that. That's the way they're supposed to work, right there. So we had success on one. Not so much success on the first one. That's all right. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get less lacquer thinner on my Q-tip this time. That way we can come in here and wipe her up. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And there you go. That took 5 minutes. Take up those decals. Right here, I kind of got into this door latch right there. I started pulling that paint off right there. You could come in with a Sharpie or some black paint on a Q-tip and touch that up. You could even maybe come in with a really fine Q-tip. Let me see if I have an example of one. Do I have any of those left? I think I'm out. What in the world is those? Oh, okay, I know what these are. Oh, I think I'm out of those. I have to go buy some more. Well, anyways, at Hobby Lobby, they've got these ultra fine Q-tips where you could get a little lacquer thinner or acetone and come in here and take this little black mark right here up if you wanted to. So you could just kind of clean that up with a really fine. You would not want to use one of these, I don't think, because it's likely you would either get into your door latch or you'd wipe off your Durastar logo. So you don't want to use a super fine Q-tip. You might be able to get away taking a rag around a sharp knife and making it really thin and narrow like this. Let's see if we can make that work. I've done this before, it's just been a while. Okay. A second here. So we'll just try and get in here with our knife. There we go. Oh, I think I made it worse. There we go. Well, it's a little better. It's not perfect, but will you even notice it? Well, you'll probably notice it, but nevertheless. So there we go. That is essentially lesson 3. We will shoot just a bit of primer on here to finish out our... Heck, we're only at 7:44, it looks like. So in 15 minutes, we managed to strip paint and then take the decals off of our truck, our donors, and we're basically ready to prime. So what we'll do is we'll just go do that quick. And then we will call it a day. Let's see if we can do this and not have the phone fall. Okay, so these were sitting in front of the heat. They're nice and warm to the touch. That's cool. We like that. And we'll just shoot them quick. And there we go is one. I'm just gonna hang that here. I'm gonna make a little hook. And that one's ready. And away we go. And there it is. Oh, there it is. Now you can see it. All right. And here's where I got them hanging right there. So they're just going to wait until next Monday or Sunday or whenever I get home next week. And then those will get painted white. Okay, that's that.